Let's react.
This is the song that changed everything.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around a bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know.
You hear that train rhythm and it's immediate. No intro speech needed, no explanation, no marketing plan, just boom. Johnny Cash. And here's the thing. When people talk about Johnny Cash, they don't talk about perfection. They talk about presence. They talk about truth. They talk about that voice. And yeah, they talk about the flaws too. But not in a judgmental way. More like in a, that's part of it way. That's what fascinates me. Because in music, especially now, everything is so polished, auto-tuned, smoothed out, filtered. Johnny Cash, he sounded like a man who had lived. He looked like one too. Sometimes maybe a bit too much. And fans didn't run from that. They leaned into it. Let's just say straight, Johnny Cash was not technically the best singer in the world. He didn't have 5-octave gymnastics. He wasn't hitting impossible high notes. But that baritone, that deep, steady, grounded voice, it felt real. When he sang, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, you believed him. Not because it was glamorizing anything, but because there was weight behind it. And here's something important. Cash never pretended to be clean. He never pretended to be polished. He sang about regret, guilt, prison, faith, redemption, failure. He didn't hide the messy parts, and fans felt that because guess what? Most people's lives are messy. When you look at albums like Folsom Prison, you don't hear a superstar trying to impress critics. You hear a man playing to inmates. That alone tells you something. He wasn't chasing glamour. He wasn't chasing connection. And when he walked into Folsom and opened with, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," the crowd's reaction wasn't polite applause. It was explosion because those men felt seen. And when fans see that, they respect it.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Johnny Cash struggled. There was drugs, personal chaos, career dips. There were periods where things were not smooth, to say the least. But here's the key difference between Johnny Cash and a lot of artists. He didn't build his identity around being flawless. So when he stumbled, it didn't destroy the myth. It reinforced the humanity. People didn't say, "Oh, he's fake." They said, "Yeah, that makes sense." Not in a dismissive way, in a compassionate way, because his songs already admitted weakness. He sang about falling. So when he fell in real life, it wasn't shocking. It was tragic, and fans don't abandon tragedy. They root for redemption, and redemption became part of his story, especially later. Enter Rick Rubin. Now, that partnership, that was genius. The American recording series stripped everything back. No big Nashville polish, no big band arrangements, just Cash and a guitar and that voice. It was older, it was rougher, it was more fragile, and suddenly the flaws weren't something to forgive. They were the entire point. Take his cover of that beautiful song, Hurt. Now, let's be honest, that song is heavy in any version. But when Cash sings it, it hits differently. Because when he says, "What have I become?" it doesn't feel like a lyric anymore. It feels like reflection. And that's the difference between technique and life.
Everything. What have I become?
Fans forgave Johnny Cash because he never acted above them. He stood beside them. He didn't pretend he was perfect. He talked openly about faith, doubt, relapse, struggle. He sang gospel. He sang about sin. He lived in the tension, and that tension felt honest. There's something else too. Cash wasn't trendy. He wasn't trying to be the coolest guy in the room. Half the time he looked like he'd walked in from somewhere more serious. all black, although that black became trendy eventually. Serious face, no glitter, no flash, just presence. And that consistently built trust. And when the world of music shifted around him, rock, disco, pop, Cash remained Johnny Cash. Even when his commercial pick dipped, even when radio moved on, he stayed steady. And people respect steady.
Top 10 greatest hits by Johnny Cash. Number 10.
When the man comes around.
Number 9.
You've got the way, woman in love.
Number 8.
Cause when the lights have lost their glow, you'll cry, cry, cry.
Number 7.
Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way.
Number 6.
I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime.
Number 5.
Up front there ought to be a man in black.
Number 4.
Dealing stud, such a dirty mangy dog that named me Sue.
Number 3.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Number 2.
I don't know when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison.
And number 1.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I fell into a...
Which is your favorite song?
Now, here's a funny thought. If Johnny Cash had debuted today, some label executive somewhere will probably say, can we smooth the vocals a bit? Can we add some reverb? Can we brighten the tone? Can we add some auto-tune? And that will have ruined it, because the cracks are the point. The slight imperfections are the point. They tell you this is a human being, not a product. And let's talk about charisma. Oof. When Cash messed up, and he did, he had this ability to walk back into the room and own it. Not arrogantly, but honestly. There's something powerful about someone who doesn't pretend they've never struggled. It makes people feel less alone. And music that makes you feel less alone, that sticks. Another thing people forget, Johnny Cash crossed lines. Country, rock, gospel, folk. He wasn't boxed in. And sometimes that annoyed the purists. But most fans didn't care, because no matter the style, it still sounded like him. That voice was the anchor. And let's not overlook something simple. He had humor. Dry, subtle humor. He wasn't always doom and gloom. He could be playful. He could smile. That balance matters, because if he was only dark, it would have been exhausting. But he wasn't. He was human, and that's really what it comes down to. Fans forgive flaws when they believe the person is genuine. Johnny Cash never felt manufactured. He felt lived in, like an old leather jacket that's been through storms but still fits. And when he stood on stage later in life, older, slower, voice weathered, people didn't see decline. They saw mileage. They saw a story. And stories matter more than polish. The truth is, Johnny Cash didn't need forgiveness the way we usually mean it. He wasn't hiding anything. He was upfront about who he was. And when someone shows you their scars before you even ask, it changes how you see them. You don't judge the scar. You respect survival. So when fans forgave Johnny Cash's flaws, maybe they weren't forgiven. Maybe they were recognizing themselves. Because who hasn't messed up? Who hasn't fallen short? Who hasn't needed another chance? Cash sang for those moments, not from a pedestal, but from inside the mess. And that's why decades later, he still feels relevant. Not because he was flawless, but because he was honest. And honesty lasts longer than perfection. The Man in Black. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And if you did so, as usual, don't forget to subscribe. Also, we got membership going on where you help decide what we do next. And there are other perks as well. So don't be afraid to check out our membership. It's Harry. Stay cool, stay good, and stay beautiful in your heart and soul. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.